Welcome back to Making It with Minglet. As you can see, I have a mess on my desk, but that's okay because this mess is getting things done. Um, so today I want to participate in the prompt from Maggie May. Um, that is sponsored by, it's a prompt collection that was created by Lee Creates, and I will put a link to her page. And today the prompt is, what a load of nonsense. Now, when I thought about that, uh, something came to my mind. It was a poem I learned when I was a little kid. So just bear with me. I'm going to craft and I'm going to tell you my little tale. Early one morning, late one night, two dead boys got up in a fight. Back to back, they faced each other, pulled out a knife, and shot each other. If you don't believe this lie is true, ask the blind man. He saw it too. Now, I started searching on the internet because I wanted to give proper credit, and unfortunately, I could not find the exact poem, but I did find on a web page called, let's see, make sure I give her credit. It's called The Blind Pig and the Acorn, and it was posted up. This is like Appalachian rhymes, so that may be how I heard it growing up. Um, she posted it, but it's not exactly the same. So I think it may be one of those things that may have been passed down. Her version is, one bright day in the middle of the night, two dead boys got up in a fight. Back to back, they faced each other. They drew their swords and they shot each other. The deaf policeman heard the noise, came and shot the two dead boys. And if you don't believe this lie is true, ask the blind man. He saw it too. Now, I believe that qualifies as nonsense. Um, Now, as far as what I'm working on, I am trying to get I've got a lot of sticks in the fire, so to speak. I think that's probably Southern slang, but I am definitely a Southern girl, and that's okay. This coming week, I am going to be very, very busy, trying to get myself together and get things packed because we're going on a fun trip. And while I'm on that trip, I'm going to meet someone I've followed on YouTube, and I am so excited. I can't wait. I can't wait. It's so exciting, and I'm also going to get to see my husband's cousin. We call her Big Martine, and that is because my oldest daughter, is named after her. And so we got a lot of preparation to do. I've got some things I need to finish up. I'm helping with some table decorations. You might have heard me talk about it. It's supposed to be Alice in Wonderland, and for that, I am doing. Let me move that to the side. And I probably need to close my glue because my glue gets dry. So let me just pull this over here, and we will look together at what's going on. As you can see, I'm a busy lady. My mom used to say I'm as busy as a one-armed paper hanger. I used to think that was kind of funny, but in fact, it's really not very funny. We do with what we've got, right? So anyway, that's the most nonsensical thing that I can think about. But I also thought about something that happened when I was a teenager. I would sing. I did sing with the youth choir from my church, and we didn't just sing at our church. We went to churches all over North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia. And so we were forever stopping for fast food because, anybody else would just about close the doors if they saw a whole busload. And when we traveled, we would travel on a big, like a Greyhound bus. There was a place local in the Piedmont area that, well, I thought this was easy. I can't unwrap string and talk at the same time. But anyway, it was called Piedmont Coach Lines, and they would pretty much do the tour plans for our youth choir. And we had stopped at a fast food restaurant one evening, and it was a little bit late. We were probably their last patrons of the day. Okay, we're just going to get ugly with this. We're not going to play the game. It's not one of those days that I have patience. Anyway, it was a fast food restaurant, and I was like, I always sat towards the front of the bus, so I got off pretty quick. And I was one of the first ones to go in. Well, when I went in, the bar across the glass door had bolts in it. Like, there was a plate, and then there were some bolts. And those bolts had worked their way loose. And when I opened the door, the bar dropped down. Well, I went and got my food, and I told them that the door had come loose. They said, "Oh, it does it all the time." So the people that are a little slower getting off the bus don't know that it's already fallen on somebody. So we pranked them. We went and we fixed it. We didn't tighten the bolts. We just put the handle through the bolt. And so once we did that, the next person that come in, it was automatically going to fall because it didn't take nothing for it to fall. And it did. And we all busted out laughing. And I said, "Small, you're on candid camera." There was like this roar. I mean, everybody that was in the restaurant was laughing. And if you don't know what candid camera is, it's definitely going to show my age. Oh my goodness. Nonsense. Oh, what a terrible web we weave. When we practice to deceive. They made it look easy. Why did they do that? Why? Oh, why, oh, why? Okay, now I'm going to have to play with string all day. This is not the day to play with string. Just so you know, I woke up at 7:30 this morning. I'd had about 2 hours sleep. And my head was screaming, "The weather's changing. Oh, I got to aggravate you." So my patience is very, very, very slim today. That's nonsense. It is. Thank God it doesn't happen every time the weather changes, but when it does, sometimes it can be rather annoying. But I've learned to deal with it. I have different, it just depends on how it presents itself, what I do. And today I've got too much to do to be playing around. All right, so before we go any further, we're gonna wrap some string up because I'm not gonna sit here and detangle it. I'm sure that there is a right and wrong way to take this off of this piece of paper, cardboard. What a bunch of nonsense, right? That's okay. I needed to laugh anyway. Might as well laugh at myself, because if I didn't laugh, I might cry. And a crying crafter is not exactly a fun thing to be doing. Now, if you're wondering what I'm working on, I cut these mushrooms out of playing cards, and they're going to be part of the little table decorations that I'm going to put on the tables, along with some little goodie bags for our attendees. And I'm kind of excited about it. I think they turned out really pretty. I thought about stamping the date on them, but it won't show on all of them, so I may try to put 2024, but I thought maybe they can hang it on their Christmas tree, or they can hang it up and it'll give them something to remember the conference by. It's going to be good. I'm looking forward to seeing people get the help they need. It's going to be educational for people with cluster headaches, and it will be something that, if they've not been with people that have cluster headaches, it can be very emotional because it's a very debilitating, disease. It's, the doctors just really, they try. Some of them are better at it than others, but in all honesty, some of the people that we're going to see, just don't get the same care that we do here, and their struggle is real. So, anyway, this is nonsense, and I don't want to make you feel sad, but if you pray, say a prayer for the people that are going to be there, the speakers and everything, that they'll be able to reach people and help them in ways that they've not experienced before. If you're not a praying person, just send good karma. We'll be traveling on Sunday of next week, and we're going through Iceland, which is going to be exciting. We've never been to Iceland before. We pretty much stayed in the States. We've not traveled outside the States until last year, when they had the first conference. So this will be the second time we've done international travel, and it's just a lot more things to consider. It's a little different than when we travel in the States. So I have to be sure I've got all my paperwork, for my prescriptions that I have to carry with me, and just, I have to carry, equipment, which is ridiculous, but, nobody sleeps if I don't. So, we tend to like our sleep. Yeah, sometimes things are nonsensical. But I like this prompt, Lee. You did a good job. I'm looking forward to the other one. I almost did it today. It's not until the 22nd. And I really wanted to do it today because I thought today's the perfect day to do a portrait. You've seen how I draw, right? The cats. That's about the extent of my ability to draw. But I thought about it when I got up this morning. I thought, man, I should draw a portrait, a self-portrait today of what I see, how I feel. It was like clashing and banging going on in my head, I tell you. I don't have clusters, and I'm grateful for that. My husband is the one that has the clusters, but I tell you, I do have some intense headaches at times, and today was one of those days. So, I had fire coming out of the corner of my eye. I had lightning running down my cheeks. So I thought, maybe I could express myself through art. So, just be on the lookout for it. It'll probably show up as a short, because I am going to do that before the end of the day. I am pretty determined to get a portrait made of myself. Now, that knot didn't work. Well, why not? Because it didn't. Oh, mercy. What are we going to do with all this stuff, huh? All right. I know you don't want to sit and watch me tie knots with my crazy fingers and, talk about nonsensical stuff, but I'm glad that you came by. I do want to give a special shout out to Possum Patty, and I want to thank all of her peeps, her possum peeps that came over and joined my channel. I appreciate your support. I am, as she said, a baby channel, and I really tried not to have any expectations when I started doing this, but I thought, I could do this, and I approach it from a different standpoint because I do what I can when I can. I can't commit to do an everyday thing. I wish I could, but then I would disappoint everybody, including myself. So today, was not the best day, but it sure wasn't the worst because I'm still upright. I did not have to take medicine and knock myself out, to relieve the pain. So, we kind of put an ice pack on my head, and I look quite silly and nonsensical in it. I may show it to you sometime, but it's purple and it's got ice in it, and it looks like a bonnet, but it is the best thing for me when my head hurts. Not everybody can use ice. For some people, it's heat, but ice seems to help, and that's always my go-to first. And if that doesn't work, then I go to the next stage. Well, today, I just skipped over some things and took care of business, and I'm all right. I'm doing okay. Can't tie a knot. I'm having difficulty with knots. I think it's because I got my glasses on. As silly as that sounds, I can't see what I'm doing. I've got bifocals in them, but they're basically set up for me looking at the computer, and that's not what I'm doing. I'm trying to tie a little tiny string. There we go. At least I can remember how to make square knots. If I have any of these left over, I may do them, have people that comment may get them in Happy Mail, because I do appreciate your comments. People are very encouraging, and I thank them for that. And I want you all to be well. I know what it's like not to be well, and to have days that, just aren't so good. And I can make it. I've got my friends, and I've got my craft, and I can do the best I can. And so far today, I've done pretty good. I've gotten my little few chores done today. Fridays are low-key days for me most of the time, because we clean house on Thursday. So Friday's kind of like a catch-up day where I can kind of chill. I sneak off to the craft room real quick when my husband goes to work. He works second shift, and I look forward to coming up here and getting some crafting done. So I'm going to finish these up, and I'm going to get them in the box. I've just about got all the table decorations ready. I've just got my little goodie bags to pack, and I'm going to hand sew little charms on the outside of them. So that'll take a little time, but I can do that while I'm watching TV. We had fun last night. Bridgerton came out, and as soon as my daughter got off of work, we were piled up in the living room. We couldn't wait, and we burned through every one of them. And we're kind of, I said, maybe we should save 2 of them, and she said, no, we're gonna watch them. I said, okay. When your grown daughter wants to spend time with you, you take advantage of that. So, I love my kids. I appreciate every minute I get to spend with them. Even though they're grown, they'll always be my babies. All right, so I'm going to let you go. And I want you all to take care, be well. And I'm going to finish this project and see if I can find some more nonsense to get into. Bye-bye.